So quiet. We're not used to having everybody here quiet and ready to go. So, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here in person and for those watching online. Adequate notice of this meeting, as required by the Open Public Meetings Act, was provided through the posting, mailing, and filing of the annual notice of regularly scheduled meetings of the Town Council on December 12, 2023. The notice was on that date, posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, provided to the Westfield Leader in the Star Ledger, and filed with the clerk of the town of Westfield. Ms. Loshing, may I have a roll call?
Mayor Brindle?
Here.
Councilmembers Hopgood?
Here.
Dardia?
Here.
Tamagala?
Here.
Kiefert? Saunders?
Here.
Armento?
Here.
Contract.
Here. Please rise for the invocation, which will be given by Councilman Hapgood, and remain standing for the salute to the flag.
We come together today to serve our community with dedication and care. Let us be mindful of the needs of all and approach our duties with compassion and fairness. May we find unity in our diversity and strengthen our collaboration. Help us to be good stewards of the trust placed in us. And thank you for the opportunity to serve.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So hello, everybody. It's great to see a crowd here. A lot going on. And a very important evening for us tonight. I just do want to take a moment to walk through the sequence of the meeting because it's a little bit different than what we do typically. So we're going to first read a proclamation honoring the town bookstore for its 90th anniversary. Thrilled to have representation from the bookstore here. An incredible milestone for this very beloved local business. We're then going to vote on 2 ordinances on second reading, one to install an all-way stop at the intersection of Boulevard and Grove, and one to expand where people can consume off-premise alcoholic beverages in the downtown area, which is now being expanded to include the North Avenue train station parking lot and plaza. We'll then take some time to expend our deep thanks and gratitude to Dawn Mackey, whose resignation from the council took effect yesterday, and for her many contributions to the town, and we're going to have her say a few words. We'll then hear a letter submitted from the Westfield Democratic Committee with their recommendations for Dawn's replacement, which the council will vote on in order to swear in a new council member this evening. We'll then get to the remaining legislative items on tonight's agenda. So a lot of very exciting things happen. So we're going to begin with the proclamation for the town bookstore, and I'm going to ask Lisa Schwartz and Ann, I don't know, come on up, whoever's coming up. So we have our current owner, Lisa Schwartz, and 2 former owners, Ann Laird and Grace. I don't know. Nice to see you. Exactly. And so quite remarkable. And I don't know, we all have a town bookstore story. I thought, I'll be all my kids, but saved me and many others with the puzzles in the pandemic. And so we're thrilled that there's another Westfield owner of this beloved institution. Amazing, Lisa, and we're very much looking forward to continuing the public support for this beloved store. So with that, we're celebrating the town bookstore's 90th anniversary, which is incredible. Whereas September 4th, 2024 marked the 90th anniversary of the town bookstore in downtown Westfield. And whereas the town bookstore stands as a cherished institution and cornerstone of our community, having provided 9 decades of literary enrichment, culture engagement, and service to generations of readers. And whereas, since its founding in 1934 by Esther Nichols and Matilda McLean, the town bookstore has fostered a love of reading and learning while becoming an enduring symbol of the power of a small business in our community. And whereas, current owner Lisa Schwartz purchased the store in April after having worked there since 2019 from Ann Laird, who owned the town bookstore for 17 years. And whereas the bookstore's commitment to supporting local authors and hosting events has enriched the Westfield community by bringing people together of all ages to share in the joy of storytelling. And whereas the town bookstore continues to thrive thanks to the passion and dedication of its owners, staff, and loyal patrons that have maintained the atmosphere that has made it a beloved landmark in Westfield. And whereas all residents are encouraged to join in celebrating this momentous milestone, honoring the legacy of the town bookstore and expressing our gratitude for its invaluable contributions to our town. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Shelley Brindle, on behalf of the Town Council, hereby congratulates owner Lisa Schwartz and all owners before her on the occasion of the 90th anniversary of the town bookstore, and thank them for their dedication and loyalty to the town of Westfield and surrounding community, and wish them much continued success. Congratulations. They're readers, not talkers. So. Oh, yeah, give them that. Thank you, Jim. Yes, all right. Now they get to go celebrate. Okay, Ms. Lashy, are there any advertised hearings?
Yes, Mayor, we have 2 advertised hearings tonight. First is for General Ordinance 2024-22, an ordinance to amend the code of the town of Westfield, Chapter 13. Anyone wishing to be heard on General Ordinance 2024-22, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, Mayor, you may close the hearing.
This hearing is closed.
Next is General Ordinance 2024-23, an ordinance authorizing the consumption of alcoholic beverages in certain areas of the town of Westfield. Anyone wishing to be heard on General Ordinance 2024-23, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, Mayor, you may close the hearing.
This hearing is closed. Councilman Dardia, please move for the adoption of General Ordinance number 2024-22.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move for the adoption of General Ordinance number 2024-2022, an ordinance to amend the code of the town of Westfield, Chapter 13.
May I have a second? Second. Second by Councilman Contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Hopgood,
Yes.
Dardia,
Yes.
Domagala,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Armento,
Yes.
Contract, Mayor Brindle.
Yes, this motion is carried. Councilman Contract, please move General Ordinance number 2024-23.
I'd like to move for the adoption of General Ordinance number 2024-23, an ordinance authorizing the consumption of alcoholic beverages in certain areas of the town of Westfield.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Domagala. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Hopgood,
Yes.
Dardia,
Yes.
Domagala,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Armento,
Yes.
Contract,
Yes.
Mayor Brindle.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the Town Council Conference and regular meetings of September 10th, 2024?
Second.
So moved by Councilman Domagala. Second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Saunders. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? This motion is carried. Now we have the committee as a whole is adopting a resolution to recognize former Councilman Mackey. Does anyone have any comments? Okay, so that is adopted. Ms. Lashy, do we have any petitions or communications?
I didn't count them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying that?
I was going to say something.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
I just wanted to say something because I think I was one of the reasons why Don ran for office in the first place, where we met at a party years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to run for council. And I had just met Don. I'm like, you should run too. We could do it together. And I'm sure she's forever upset at me for that. But Dawn, you have been just you've been great on the council, great for the town. We will miss you dearly. I know, Jim, we're looking forward to working with you. Big shoes to fill, but I don't know if Dawn's shoes can be filled. Our town is so grateful for everything you've done, so thank you, but good luck. I'm thrilled for you.
So on brand, I do not have prepared remarks, but I want to speak from the heart. And I always say one of the best privileges of being mayor is the opportunity to get to meet people in this community that your paths would never otherwise cross. And for me, the biggest impact was in 2017, and I'll just say Don Mackey being one of the many people and most remarkable people that I got to meet at that time. And, you know, Don and I were quite the duo. I had great ideas, and little did I know what Dawn would do with things that were just a fantasy in my mind. Her creativity is unparalleled. She is dogmatic in pursuit of justice, if anyone knows that. And it's a privilege to watch it. And not only, and I think Linda's going to talk about this, but it's not only what Dawn does, it's how she does it. As anyone has been in her orbit, the busiest person around, she is never too busy not to leave a note of thanks, a special little thing that she drops off at your house because it reminded her of you. Everybody's nodding their head because we've all had that experience with Dawn. And it's been a great inspiration and lesson for me about the art of gratitude and how far it goes and how much it means to people. And Dawn, you are the shining example of that. And we'll just talk about a couple of things so that I think are really a legacy. And obviously I've only been here for 7 years. I can never think of a harder working council member than Dawn Mackey. She did 20 years worth of work in the 7 years that she's been here. And when I first mentioned this crazy idea of celebrating Charles Adams, I imagined a little party. We all know what Dawn does with that, right? So she turned that idea into a legacy-defining contribution to the town of Westfield. And we'll always be remembered for that. If you wonder why every single road is going to be paved in town, probably by next year, it's because of Dawn Mackey. She was talking about it when she was running for office, and we actually did it because of her tenacity and holding utilities accountable. And if you've enjoyed those murals and the butterflies and the Seward Johnson, it took an idea, again, with Dawn, that we should have public art, to beginning the formation of a public arts commission, and then really launching it with those butterflies and everything you've seen since then. So Dawn, you've been an inspiration to me. You're an inspiration to everybody you touch base with. You make everybody better because no one works harder than you, and no one is more committed to you, and no one is more fair and so honest than you. And I am forever, ever grateful for your service and for having the privilege of working alongside of you. I love you so much.
Okay, so I did prepare remarks because it's going to make this a little easier for me. So, as Shelley just said, the list of accomplishments that we could go through tonight as it relates to Dawn are just it's too long a list to, for us to go through. But even though we really want to lift up the extensive resume of Dawn's professional accomplishments here in Westfield, I also really wanted to take a moment to publicly recognize Councilwoman Mackey for not just what she accomplished, but how she accomplished it. And I think the first thing that really is important to me is that everything that she did in town, she did it with a commitment to excellence. Whether she was considering changes to the town code or she just noticed some things in the park that needed to be improved, she not only took on the responsibility of leading that charge, but she never dropped the ball halfway through. I can remember, for example, many years ago when we were both on code review, that we were considering how we could invite more solar panels to come into town. And we were taking some community advice about doing front-facing solar panels. And Dawn was worried So what did we do? In true Don Mackey fashion, we sat in the room next door and we invited solar panel purveyors to bring their panels into the room so that we could look at them and determine what controls around those front-facing panels would be not only good for the environment, but also be in keeping with the aesthetic that we wanted to have in our neighborhoods. Even from a hospital bed, the first year of Adams Fest, and I'm not kidding, she was in the hospital for all those days leading up to the events that were just the inaugural events for Charles Adams. She was on the phone making sure that everyone that she had recruited to work on Adams Fest knew exactly how Dawn Mackey's, seal of excellence was going to go on to the event. Secondly, Dawn always works with a focus on inclusion, team, and fun. In Dawn's world, everyone is invited, every person matters. Young and old are welcome, differences are celebrated, and trust me, everyone has to pitch in. And then the third thing is probably the most important, is that Dawn does everything with a humility that should be really celebrated. Even when she single-handedly is pushing a project or a new event over the line, she sits back and gives credit to everybody else. She's happy to be backstage, maybe barking out a couple of orders to people, but she doesn't want the award, she doesn't want the spotlight, and she's not taking the applause. She really should be a model for all of us. Councilwoman Mackey, we are indebted to you in so many ways, and we want you to know that you have left an indelible mark here in our village of Westfield. It's the Dawn Mackey mark. One made of beautiful art, thoughtful advancement of our code, selfless service to residents and to businesses, and community enrichment. The Dawn Mackey mark has all of these things, all wrapped up with fun and vision and drive, and a little bit of ooky spooky. So, for all of us who have had the privilege of serving with you, we obviously are you've just left such a mark on us as colleagues, but you are also a friend. And I would just say that there's, for me, I'm so happy that you might be able to resign as a councilwoman, but don't you dare resign as a friend. So.
Let me read this resolution, all right, and have some beautiful flowers. So, as is customary, we have a resolution for Dawn formally acknowledging her contributions. Whereas Dawn Mackey faithfully served the town of Westfield as councilwoman representing the 4th Ward from January 2018 to September 2024. And whereas Councilwoman Mackey has selflessly volunteered her time and talents to attend to the needs of the town and its residents, tirelessly demonstrating her steadfast leadership, dedication, and vision for the future of the community. And whereas during her tenure on the town council, Councilwoman Mackey served as acting mayor in 24, alternate acting mayor from 2018 to 23, the council liaison to the Special Improvement District from 18 to 22, the Public Arts Commission since it was formed in 20, and the Municipal Alliance in 2018. And whereas Councilwoman Mackey faithfully served as member of the Code Review and Town Property Committee from 18 to 24, the Public Works Committee from 22 to 24, and the Public Safety, Transportation, Parking Committees from 18 to 21. Whereas, in addition to the aforementioned committee memberships, Councilwoman Mackey demonstrated vision and leadership while serving as the chair of the Code Review and Town Property Committee from 18 to 20, chair of the Public Works Committee in 24, vice chair of the Code Review and Town Property Committee from 21 to 24, and vice chair of the Public Works Committee in 23. And whereas the positive impact of Councilwoman Mackey's service to the town will be felt for many years, beyond the conclusion of her terms in office, and nowhere is this more evident than her commitment to enhancing the cultural and artistic landscape of the town of Westfield, specifically her role as chairwoman of Adams Fest and her leadership on the Public Arts Commission. And whereas, during her terms on the town council, Councilwoman Mackey earned the respect of her fellow civic leaders and the gratitude of her constituents. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and town council, on behalf of the entire community, do hereby express its deepest appreciation to Councilwoman Dawn Mackey for her years of exemplary service and invaluable contributions to the community, and wishes her every success and happiness in all her future endeavors. Be it further resolved that this resolution be permanently memorialized by incorporating it within the minutes of the Westfield Town Council meeting of September 24th, 2024. I'm going to miss you, Dawn.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for the beautiful remarks and for allowing me to speak tonight. Mayor Brindle and council members have the Dardia contract. Working with you and learning from you has been a genuine privilege, and you are each so much more to me than colleagues. To my new councilmates, Kiefer, Domagala, Armento, and Saunder, may you serve with integrity, and may you gain as much from your tenure as I have from mine. Mr. Gilday, chiefs, department heads, you have the most dedicated and accomplished staff in any municipality in this state, and we are so lucky. To my family, who often had to settle for what was left when I came home, and especially to my husband, who held it all together, while our twins went from middle school to college seniors while on this journey. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to accomplish what I did, because you were there picking up the pieces. To my early supporters who took a chance on the girl from Brooklyn with the princess business. You knocked on doors, you wore the shirts, you made the calls, and I hope I did you proud. For the past 7 years, it has been my profound honor to serve this community. I try to be thoughtful, engaged, and accessible. And while I am proud of my legislative accomplishments and my various contributions, tonight I want to talk about you. In a town of this size, even with a staff this great, nothing is achievable alone. So I want to thank the many of you collectively who contributed to these moments. Maybe you were someone who always answered my call or my text. I have an idea. Can you meet for coffee? Maybe you were my cupcake ambassador, a treasurer, or my editor. Maybe you scraped grease off the walls of the Rialto when it closed overnight and we had a movie premiere to host. Or maybe you painted windows with your Girl Scout troop, or sanded tables in Tamaulipas with the Boy Scouts. Possibly you shuttled 3-foot butterflies in your van to the auto body shop. Or maybe together we dragged 50 trees around this town, hoping to turn Westfield into a Hallmark Christmas movie. You might have made turned pallets into flags as a fundraiser. And perhaps you said yes to producing a festival when presented to you on blue poster board. Or maybe you agreed to film promos for it. Possibly year after year, you agreed to dress and serve as Westfield's own Adams family. Maybe you hung patriotic bunting and sparked new traditions. And when we found ourselves in the midst of an unprecedented pandemic, I worried about our downtown. But within weeks, you opened your hearts and your wallets, providing both financial and emotional support to our businesses as we all learned new ways to shop. And when I went to the corner of Quimby and Elm in the middle of the night to paint a rainbow crosswalk and no one was there, I panicked. But then from every direction they came, kids and parents at 4 a.m. because Westfield always shows up. This is what defines us. This is what makes us special. So thank you, Westfield, for the privilege of a lifetime. I thank you to all the volunteers who have become friends. And I urge you, if the opportunity presents itself and you get a moment to pick up a clipboard, roll up your sleeves, or leave remarks on social media, I urge you to choose option 1 or 2. Because, in my humble opinion, you will not regret it. If you serve this town with an open heart, I promise you, you will get more than you give. Thank you, Westfield. I love you.
Can I just make sure that the council actually adopted that resolution, to make sure it is read in the minutes?
Oh, I forgot.
That would be on brand, would it not?
Did everybody, so are we adopting the resolution to honor Dawn's commitment? All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed? No. Yay! I failed to mention, Dawn, I'm really going to miss, if you could have seen the artwork that Dawn produced up here during council meetings, it really should all be framed, so I'm going to miss that. So,
Jim, you need to get a bunch of multicolored, multicolored pencils and Post-it notes.
So with that, so thank you all for being here, and again for Dawn and your service. So Ms. Lashy, do we have any petitions or communications?
Yes, Mayor, we have a letter from the Democratic Committee which states, "Thank you for your memo dated September 17th, informing me of Ward 4 Councilwoman Dawn Matthews' resignation effective September 23rd, and the need for the Westfield Democratic Committee to submit 3 nominees for a selection of a successor to fill the vacancy prior to October 8th. The Westfield Democratic Committee has met and voted unanimously for the following 3 nominees, all whom are registered Democrats and reside in Ward 4 in the town of Westfield. Jim Healy of 126 Hazel Avenue, Rosalie Serapiglia of 1189 Tice Place, Andrea Marcus of 504 Edgar Road. Please let me know if you have any further questions.
Thank you, Maureen. We are going to put forth Jim Healy's name for nomination. And before I make that motion, I do just want to make a few remarks about Jim so everybody knows a little bit of background and his experience. So Jim actually may be familiar to many of you. He is a longtime resident here who graduated from Westfield High School, raised his kids in the house where he and his wife Lois currently reside. We're very fortunate to have Jim's experience, and he previously served on the council from 1985 through 1997, elected actually 6 times during the time when our elected officials only served 2-year terms. So during this time, he drafted and sponsored many things, but I think what a huge legacy he left behind was he sponsored the mandatory bicycle helmet law in Westfield. It was the first of its kind in New Jersey, which subsequently served as a model for the statewide bike helmet law and ultimately a majority of states in the country. So in addition to his distinguished career as a lawyer, Jim also served as a New Jersey Superior Court judge from 2009 through his retirement last year in 2023. And I would like to thank Jim for his volunteering to step back in the arena and into this role and bring your wealth of knowledge and experience as a council member to serve the residents of Westfield. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Jim Healy to fill the vacant council seat in Ward 4.
Second.
Who was that? Councilman Dardia, thank you. Any discussion?
I'd just like to make a comment. I think it's critical that whenever possible, the voice of the people need to be heard, especially with open seats. Whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, we should all strive to facilitate this whenever possible. I think that with deadlines and things, it was unfortunate, but I think the electoral process is essential for a democracy. That being said, I look forward to working with Jim. He has a wealth of knowledge from what I hear, and I look forward to sitting next to you on the dais up here.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm going to step in for a quick second. Based on the experience that Jim has, I welcome it. I welcome the knowledge that he will bring. And anybody who can survive as many elections as you have, more power to you. So welcome.
Yes, no kidding, right? Okay, please call the roll.
Council members Hagman,
Yes.
Dardia,
Yes.
Tamagala,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Armento,
Yes.
Contract,
Yes.
Mayor Brindle.
Yes, this motion is carried. I would like to move for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the appointment of Jim Haley to fill the vacant council seat on Ward 4. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Armento. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Council members Hagman,
Yes.
Dardia,
Yes.
Tamagala,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Armento,
Yes.
Contract,
Yes.
Mayor Brindle.
Yes, this motion is carried, and I'd like to invite Jim Healy up to the dais to take his oath of office. You know how this goes, right?
7 times a charm.
See, raise your right hand. Okay, please repeat after me. I, James Healy,
I, James Healy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and
to the
allegiance
same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all duties
all duties
of the office of town council member
of the office of duties of town council member,
according to the best of my abilities
according to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you for long term.
Hello there.
Yeah, hi.
Wow.
Do I get to talk?
Oh, no. Oh, you do get to talk. I'm kidding. Yes, Jim, would you like?
About?
The red is for go. Believe it or not.
We didn't have this in 1997.
Do you like the chambers?
It's all, some things are new. I think the most important thing I can say is this. It's very hard to run for public office, as I'm sure everyone here knows. And I was here in January when we had 4 new council members sworn in who fought very hard to be elected. But as you probably already have all found out, 95% of what you do here as a council person or a mayor is manage in the best interest of the town. We will have philosophical disputes. Almost all of the time of my 12 years as a council member, I was the only Democrat. And so how would I ever get anything done? How would I ever sponsor and put forward the bike helmet law that has basically become the standard in the United States and in virtually all the states, not all the states, but almost all. How did that start in Westfield? It's because I really tried hard to reach out, extend the olive branch to my adversaries. And of course, they were suspicious of me at the time, at the time I started. But I made friends, and that's how it's done. Actually, after a while, I said, I ran for 6 times. On 3 of those occasions, the Republican Party did not put up anybody against me. And that was simply because, well, I like to think it's because they liked me, but it was probably had something to do with they didn't think they could beat me. But because I was, if they were going to run an opponent, I was going to door to door, every single house in the ward. Just a couple little anecdotes. By the way, you know those pictures of all the mayors? Well, since the 1950s, I knew all of them except for 2. And I grew up on the street trick-or-treating at Mayor Emerson Thomas's house. We called it the mayor's house. Years went by, and of course, as I said, I made friends. In 2011, so this is years after I had left the council in 1997, a couple of the prominent Republicans who happen to live in Westfield were interviewed for a little rag paper called New Jersey Biz. And I can tell you who was in that little group who was being interviewed. Thomas Kane Jr., Richard Bagger, John Brandnick, Bill Palatucci, and Mike Duhane. These are kind of big names in Republican politics. And so the question came around, who's your favorite Democrat? And in the newspaper, in the paper, it was reported, they all agreed, Jim Healy's their favorite Democrat. And I viewed that as essentially why I'm here now, is because it's all about trying to do best for community service. And I'll tell one more anecdote. Alan Chin was the mayor of Westfield. Maybe members, you don't know him. He was longtime Republican chairman. In fact, when I was running for office and, serving on the council, if he wasn't going to run somebody against me, he would call me up. He says, Jim, you got the year off. You don't have to, no opposition. And when they decided, well, we got to try this again. This is unacceptable. By the way, this never happened before. Never in history of Westfield had ever a Democrat run without opposition. But he called me up and says, Jim, this year we're going to run somebody against you. And okay, back to the door-to-door campaigning, as you all have done. And I was able to win. Okay, Alan Chin continued to serve. He was on our Rolway Valley Sewage Authority for many, many years, right up until his death, really. He died at 80 in 2017. The Westfield Historical Society decided to honor him by making him a member of their Hall of Honor. Who did Mrs. Chin and his 3 children ask to memorialize and speak at that event? Me. And why is that? Well, it turns out, and I didn't mention this, but in 1970, I was the first head lifeguard of the Westfield Memorial Pool. One of the great successes of this town. And I was also the head lifeguard, the swim coach, and the teacher of adult swimming lessons. And who's in that swimming class? That first swimming class that I taught how to swim was Mary Chin, Alan Chin's wife. And those are the kinds of things that you build a lifelong bond with. And that's why I was elected to speak on behalf of Alan Chin when he was so honored. So I hope to win all of you over to the good faith that we're all trying to do. We will have philosophical agreements, but I appreciate your support and the comments that were made when my resolution was put forward. Thank you.
Mayor, if I may.
Oh, absolutely.
Councilman Healy, great to have you here. We welcome you. I look forward to more of those stories and more back and forth. I think I would be remiss if I didn't say a few words about Councilwoman Mackey.
Absolutely.
And I'll make it short and sweet, which is on brand. So, Dawn, thank you so much for all the great memories, for all of your hard work. Your constituents will forever be in your debt. And so it's been my pleasure, my family's privilege to get to know you and John since 2017. And it's just, we look forward to more of those great times. And unfortunately, it won't be here. But thank you once again for everything.
Thank you. Okay, so I think now we're back to the business at hand. I just want to I have a few comments then about the actual legislation that we're addressing tonight, just a few updates. Just a few highlights that I think might be of interest to the community. I said, in case you missed it, I hosted an Instagram Live on Sunday with the owner of Maze, Jessa Henneberry. And it was really to provide the community a sneak preview of the incredible transformation of the historic Northside train station. She shared the exciting news that their opening day is October 15th. I did see her today, and she said she's already been inundated with emails from people looking for reservations. So wait just a bit till the Resi system opens up. But I think it's going to be a great hit. And I can't wait for, honestly, the Historic Preservation Commission to see it, because it's stunning in terms of the attention to detail of what they've done to preserve that beautiful old building. Just a couple things and events. Last night, don't miss the last night of Extended Sweet Sounds, which is this Friday night from 6 to 9 on Quimby. I want to thank the DWC for extending it and outdoor music another month for us. The Green Team is hosting a sustainable house fair this Saturday from 11 to 2 at the library. Residents can learn about various ways to improve your home's energy efficiency. I went through an energy audit in 2019, and I am currently in the process, after 25 years, of getting my house insulated, new hot water heater, everything else because of that energy audit we did, and there's lots of state tax credits available, so I would encourage everyone to look at doing that. And of course, Adams Fest, don't miss all the events through October. I said, the first tickets sold out in 8 minutes, is that right? Or less? Okay. Once again, check out all the details at adamsfest.com. Once again, Dawn Mackey has put up, with her co-patriot Adrian Pistori, who's back there somewhere, put together incredible events for Adams Fest. So just tonight on the legislative front, we have a resolution to award a contract for the purchase of an XRF machine to assist with the children's lead prevention program administered by the Health Department, and the cost of which will be partially offset by grant funds and other revenues collected from the towns we serve. We're going to be voting on a resolution to accept a bid for rental equipment needed for this year's leaf collection following a public RFP process. We're going to be voting on a resolution to award a 1-year contract for affordable housing planning services to Topology, as recommended by Town Planner Don Samet, in anticipation of the state DCA releasing each municipality's next round of affordable housing obligation numbers in late October. We are all kind of anxiously waiting for that. The services of Topology will be paid through the town's Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which is funded by developers, not taxpayers. And it will assist Dawn in particular, and then ultimately this council, with the necessary planning and work to remain compliant with affordable housing mandates in the coming months. And then lastly, we have 2 resolutions authorizing grants pursuant to the town's affordability assistance program for tenants of 2 separate affordable housing units. So with that, let's get into the agenda. I think we're right into open discussion because we already did minutes. So time for open discussion by citizens. Anyone may come up to the microphone and speak to the council on any subject on which we have jurisdiction. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Hi, guys. This is on, right? Hi, everyone. Hey, my name's Emily Root. I live at 738 Mountain Avenue. Thanks for letting me be up here. And Councilman Healy, congratulations. You're a very tall guy, but you have very, very big shoes to fill with this one. So I am here to speak for the wonderful Councilwoman Mackey. I love seeing all this emotion. I'm feeling it too. I think we all are back here. And she is such a true visionary and industrious and get stuff done council person. So thank you to the one and only Councilwoman Mackey. Whether it is consistently standing up for your constituents in Ward 4, which I got to witness firsthand alongside you on the council, or tirelessly supporting our downtown's businesses, which we heard about from Mayor Brindle and Councilwoman Hapgood, Councilman Dardia. Everyone knows Councilwoman Mackey as an innovative, creative, and kind leader. And yes, I was fortunate enough to work with her for 2 years, with you, whatever pronoun you want, for 2 years. And I remember getting on that council in 2022 and being a little bit overwhelmed anyway, but really overwhelmed at how much Miss Mackey does in 24 hours and constantly thinking over and over, you must be exhausted. Because we all work hard. You all work hard on here. But Councilwoman Mackey works at a pace that none of us have ever seen before. And I think we're all nodding, like Mayor Brindle said, and we're all sitting here, the Councilwoman Mackey fan club, because we all know that it's true. So I'm so thankful that I had you, Dawn, as a role model and someone to show me the ropes during those early days. I also remember thinking, Dawn knows everybody, because she is that person, that whether you work here in the municipal building or whether you're a Westfield resident or both, whoever it is, everyone wants to stop and chat with her, right? So true. Dawn's that person that makes people feel good, not because she's a politician, she's a good one, but because she truly cares about all of us. I got to see your empathy at your constituents' houses and meetings. I also witnessed your dedication and your loyalty to the town employees and the committees on which you served, and I'm sure everyone can echo that here. So face it, Councilwoman Mackey, you are in fact beloved, and you always will be. And I know we will see you in town when you come back to visit. I'll see you at Rockin' Joe's. We can all be rest assured that you will always be there with that smile, with your warmth and concern for others, and with that limitless ball of energy that we all have had the pleasure to witness for the past 7 years. We love you, Dawn. Thank you for your service, for your forward-thinking ideas that will forever change our town for the better. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rupa Motwani. I live at 772 Prospect Street. I just want to say thank you to Councilwoman Dawn Mackey. Dawn, as the former head of the Westfield Dems and your friend, I have had a front row seat to Mackey for Ward 4 candidacies and also to your tenure as Councilwoman Dawn Mackey. And in the 7 years that you have served the town of Westfield, there has never been a task that is too small or a challenge that is too daunting that you have not raised your hand to take on, and the town is richer for it. Today, Town Hall is poorer for the fact that you are no longer here, but I really want you to know that this town and its residents have been greatly enriched by your service, and we are forever in your debt. So thank you for your service. Councilman Healy, I hope and I know that you will serve this town with the same smart, thoughtful, and inclusive leadership that Dawn brought to this council. Thank you for stepping up.
Hi, Drew Kellerman, 534 Boulevard. Congratulations, Councilman Healy. I'm sure you will serve this council well, as you've done in the past. I'm here today to speak about Councilwoman Mackey, who I consider, she was my councilwoman. I have not written a speech, I just wanted to speak from my heart. She was my councilwoman for Ward 4 for a few years until I moved to a different ward in this town, but I was heavily involved, as you know, in Ms. Mackey's first campaign. I got to witness firsthand the get in there and get things done attitude from Dawn as she ran for town council. Once on the council, I got to see that, as Rupa said so eloquently, there was no task too small, no task too daunting. I think you said it better though. Some of the two things, major things that come to mind when I think about Dawn's service to the town is Adams Fest, which is, you know, an amazing event that brings the entire town together, which is very exemplary of what Dawn Mackey does. She brings people together. She gets in there, she gets, excuse my language, she gets shit done, and she, you know, she's not afraid to get her hands dirty. And then the other thing is, as she gets fun events planned for the town, she also digs deep to get the taxpayers of this, to do service for the taxpayers of this town. And the one thing that stands out to me is that she's holding all of the, she made the ordinance, created the ordinance to hold utility companies responsible for paving. That I can't even imagine how much money that saved the town. I'm sure somebody has the number, but to me that was an incredible service to the town. But beyond that, Dawn is, if somebody is in need, Dawn is the first person to reach out, to help, to rally the troops together, to take care of that person. She is compassionate, she is empathetic, and she is just as amazing a town council person as she is that much better of a friend and human being, and I'm proud to call her my friend as well as my councilwoman. Thank you for your service. We are in your debt.
Hi, Liz Mahalan, Westfield. I would like to welcome Judge Healy back to the dais again. I wish you all the best of luck.
So, Mrs. Mulholland, what's your street address?
1029 Harding.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going to be going a little off-brand here because this is a little personal for me, and I'm going to be reading, which I normally don't do. So I just want to say this because I might get a little emotional. What can I say? I've known Dawn for nearly 3 decades. From her early days co-founding Citizens for Safety in Hoboken to ensure our city remained safe after a holdup in our then local CVS, to all of the wonderful accomplishments we've heard tonight. As most of you experienced, can't is not a word that exists in Dawn's vocabulary. There is also no such thing as a problem, only a solution that needs a positive remedy, and a remedy she will find. Many of you know and have heard that voice from Dawn's call. So, you have any plans for Add Any Day Here? And you just know whatever she's asking you to do, you will do it. Be it dress up as Cinderella or lug 50-pound boxes into a car and set them up somewhere for some town event. Her spirit and good heart just won't let you say no. Dawn's vision and tenacity is unparalleled and is only rivaled by her compassion, dedication, and true concern for making this community and the world around her a better place. We have been so very fortunate to have this wonderful force advocating for us, a force with which I'm guessing we shall never see again. All I can say is thank you. I know whatever the future holds, you will make it brighter and better, and I'm so very fortunate to have been part of your life's journey. I wish you the best.
Hi, Curdy Malik, 238 Grove Street. So I'm also here to talk about Councilwoman Mackey. I'll keep it brief because I'm just going to be echoing, I think, what others have already said. Dawn Mackey has been transformative for our town. She has changed it in both concrete and indelible ways. One could say ethereal, impressionable, unerasable ways. She recognized early on that we all want paved roads and smart town ordinances, but after that, we all also just want to have fun. So because of her, Westfield has become a thriving public art space, a destination town during the month of October, and boasts a list of unending events that make us never want to leave. There is so much joy in watching whole families dress up during Adams Fest, or watching my neighbors spook out their houses in ever more creative ways, or seeing visitors take pictures in front of the rainbow crosswalks and the fun signs that we have downtown, or enjoy dinner under a string of lights, or drinks on Quimby on a summer night. It's just so many things that we encounter day to day, which we can say Dawn Mackey is responsible for. Talk to any of our local thriving business owners, and they all have a story about Dawn. How she always picks up the phone, how she always works on a solution to their concerns, and how she had both the vision and the willpower to get things done during the hardest of times. I feel lucky that Dawn and I sit on a board together, and I've gotten to know her on both a professional and personal level. I wish this wonderful woman much success in all of her future endeavors, and thank her for her leadership and the many, many long days that she has put into making our town wonderful. Thank you.
Good evening, Greg Casco. I'm the only out-of-towner here, 704 Tulip Lane, Scotch Plains. In the years that I lived in Westfield, 53 years, I lived in 3 different wards. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to vote for Dawn Mackey. I was in Ward 3 during that election. If there's anybody that represents an at-large, a reason for an at-large election, it's this woman. Because I believe that she served everybody in Westfield, not just her ward. I need not go through her accomplishments. You've all done that. I don't think I would ever have said this to a Superior Court judge. Congratulations, Judge Healy. You have some big shoes to fill. I'm sure you will do it admirably. Congratulations. Great work. You know how I feel. I consider Dawn a friend. Not only a councilwoman that I could call from Ward 3 if I had an issue, but just as a friend. We share the same birthday. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Adrienne Pastore. I live at 408 Poe Avenue, Ward 4. I look forward to getting to know my new councilman very much, but I do know very, very well this woman here. You may refer to her as Councilwoman Dawn Mackey. I refer to her as Adams Fest event chair Dawn Mackey, my partner in crime for Adams Fest, as I am the lead producer of Adams Fest with Dawn. I don't have prepared remarks because I never do, but I want to tell you all a quick story that Dawn told me one time. She told me that she was out walking around in town, as she mentioned, trying to give away trees, right? Trying to make our town more beautiful, because that's what Dawn does. If Dawn Mackey touches something, it becomes beautiful. If you see art in this town, Dawn Mackey made it happen. If you see something gorgeous in this town, it's because of Dawn. So Dawn was out one day trying to see if anybody wanted a tree in her neighborhood. And so she walked up to someone and she said, "Hi, I'm Councilwoman Dawn Mackey. I'm your Ward 4 Councilwoman. Would you like a tree?" And that person said to Dawn, "Oh, no, I'm a Republican." You remember that story? And Dawn just went, "So do you want a tree?" Right? Because Dawn is not interested if you are a Republican or a Democrat. She's interested that you're a human being. So thank you for, I won't even tell everyone the wild rides we have been on, but let's just say it's involved a 24-hour trip up to Salem, Massachusetts earlier this year to prepare for Adams Fest, and that's the best story I can tell that's like appropriate for a council meeting. We've been through a lot, and you've made my heart so much bigger and so much fuller and expanded my horizons more than I could ever imagine. But what I really want to say is, what are we going to do, dear council people, without this incredible human running our town? What will you all be doing to raise the bar like Dawn Mackey has? I hope every day you wake up and you say, what would Dawn Mackey do? And then I hope you don't go as crazy. I hope you don't wake up at 3 a.m. like she normally would to think about what she would do. But I really do hope that you take that spirit of togetherness, of art, of community building. I have never seen anyone who wants to build community as much as this woman, who succeeds at it as much as this woman. And I challenge every single one of you, whether you've been on the council for 7 years or 7 minutes, to please come together as a team and make this town as beautiful as Dawn Mackey has made it, both in visual aspects and in our souls. So thank you, Dawn, for raising the bar more than anyone ever has. Thank you.
So anybody else? So thank you. That was beautiful from all of you, and very beautifully captured the essence of the Dawn we all know and love. So hearing none, I close this portion of the meeting and move to bills and claims. Councilman Hapgood.
That's an abrupt left turn.
Yes, exactly. And if anyone wants to exit, we won't be offended if you want to leave.
Thank you, Mayor.
Dawn, you can leave too.
I'd like to move bills and claims in the amount of $802,274.33.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Contract. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? This motion is carried. Next on the agenda is reports of standing committees, beginning with the Finance Policy Committee. Councilman Hapgood.
Thank you again, Mayor. I have 7 resolutions I'd like to move as a package. The first, a resolution authorizing the CFO to draw a warrant for Recreation Department refunds. 2, a resolution authorizing the CFO to refund street opening cash bond. 3, a resolution authorizing the CFO to draw warrants for overpaid taxes due to disabled veteran exemptions. 4, a resolution to award contract for the purchase of an XRF machine to assist with the lead prevention program. 5, a resolution to award contract for the Affordable Housing Planning Services. 6, a resolution authorizing an affordability assistance grant pursuant to the Town of Westfield's Affordability Assistance Program for a tenant of an affordable housing unit. And 7, another resolution authorizing an affordability assistance grant pursuant to the Town of Westfield's Affordability Assistance Program for a tenant of an affordable housing unit.
That was a mouthful. May I have a second?
Second.
By Councilman Domagala. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? This motion has carried. Councilman Contract, please move the last finance resolution.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move a resolution authorizing the CFO to draw a warrant for Board of Adjustment escrow monies.
May I have a second? Second by Councilman Dardia. Any discussion?
I have to recuse myself.
I'd like to recuse myself as well.
Anybody else recusing themselves? You got that, Maureen? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? This motion has carried. Next is the Code Review and Town Property Committee. Councilman Contract.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move a resolution to approve children's amusement device licenses.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Saunders. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? This motion is carried. Next is Public Works Committee. Councilman Dardia.
I have two resolutions I would like to move as a package. Number 1, resolution authorizing change number 1 for the 2024 various road improvements. Number 2, resolution authorizing an award of contract for the 2024 leaf collection program.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Armento. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? This motion is carried. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Councilman Hapgood, second by David Contract. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? This motion is carried. Congrats again to our newest councilman, Jim Healy, and this meeting is adjourned.